Hi everyone, Alyssa here, just bringing you another YouTube video. I will be trying to post a lot more over the next coming months. That way I can kind of discuss topics more in depth. It's a little bit hard on Instagram to post with a lot of text, and I feel like it's a lot to read. So at least, you guys can just jump on and have a listen. And I hope that I can help in some way and answer any questions you have. Big thing that I want to talk about today is pretty much in regards to starting a fitness journey, which I think is first and foremost the most important thing before setting any goals is, okay, starting the actual journey. So I have a lot of people ask me, where do I start? Do I start with the nutrition? Do I start with the training? Do I join a gym? Do I start walking? Like, so much uncertainty around it. So I always say the best thing to start with is nutrition, especially if you're someone that doesn't really follow a structured plan or kind of just eats whatever. I think it's very important to start with your nutrition. And I think once you're eating better, that can kind of really kickstart you into, okay, getting into the exercise and whatnot. And it also depends on the client. So some people coming from a background where they haven't really trained before, or done any form of diet, the best thing would be to start with nutrition, start cleaning up your eating before starting anything. The biggest thing, though, that I want to stress and that I always say to people is you need to be ready for this journey. If this journey was easy, everyone would walk around with the best body ever. They would, everyone would be doing it, okay? It's not easy, all right? It's something that you need to put time and effort into. It does involve sacrifice to a certain degree, okay? And that's just the reality of it. And that's why I always say to people, it requires that, and not everyone can do it. They can, but they will find every excuse to stop them from doing it, okay? If it was easy, trust me, everyone would just do it. It's not something you do. It's something that you need to implement strategies to ensure that you are successful in it, okay? Successful. Didn't say it right the first time. Successful. So pretty much starting with one thing is, I think, the most important thing. I think some people just go in guns blazing, smashing themselves in the gym. They're so sore, they can't train the next week, and, going on a super low calorie diet, and it's just, it's not maintainable. I think it's very important to start off slow and really build up to these habits, especially if you're someone who hasn't really had a lifestyle like this before. So I think that is the most important thing. Start with the nutrition, exercise will follow, and then you kind of have both of them combined that are going to help. I think a lot of people start with the exercise, which is good, but then if their nutrition's lacking, they're not going to see results. So you'll see so many people, and I used to see it working in a gym, they used to sign up, used to just smash themselves, for the first month, and they might see a little change, might, drop a kilo or two, but if their nutrition wasn't right, they would tend to not see any results. And then that's when you would see they'd come in less and less, and then they'd kind of just drop off. Nutrition is everything. I know people, back when I used to work in a gym as a personal trainer, they would train intensely. They would train for long periods of time and no change. And they used to ask me, and the answer I always used to give is, well, how's your eating? How's your nutrition? Didn't really know, or just kind of ate whatever. And they couldn't understand how, but I'm in the gym for 3 hours, why isn't anything happening? Your body doesn't work like that, okay? So if your goal ultimately is to lose weight, the only way to lose weight is not by just smashing yourself in the gym and expecting a miracle to happen, is you need to be in a deficit, which means you need to actually be eating less than what you're burning. And there's all this big talk around deficit, okay? It's not for everyone, obviously, not for everyone's goal, but for weight loss, that's all it is, okay? So with my clients who start off on my programs, so my programs normally go for 6 weeks, and then what I like to do, so in that 6 weeks, if say the goal was weight loss, we would be working in a deficit with their calories. eating a bit lower. And then after the 6 weeks, I would give them like a 2-week diet break, which means we bring the calories up to maintenance. And that maintenance means they're pretty much eating at a point where their body maintains weight. It doesn't lose, it doesn't decrease, the weight doesn't go up, it kind of just stays at a standstill, which is really good because it adds a significant amount of calories for some people. Some it can be 2 up to 500 calories extra. That will give them kind of just that break and, be a little bit more relaxed and be able to enjoy a little bit more foods that maybe they couldn't really fit into their calories before. So that's what I normally do, and then we'll start the next 6 weeks and then kind of keep working towards those goals. The biggest thing, I think, or the biggest problem that we see is people sign up to programs, they'll do it for 6 weeks, they'll lose all this weight, they're in a deficit, it's great, they're doing really well, and they're like, oh, wow, like I've lost all this weight, I feel good, that's it, I'm done. I don't need to follow the program anymore. And I can't tell you the amount of times I've had clients come back even like a month later and be like, I've put it all back on. And that's because they do not have an exit plan. They do not have a plan to maintain the weight that they've lost, okay? They'll pretty much just go back to the habits that they were in before they started up. And it's really, really hard to then get back into that mindset again. So I think the biggest thing is people need to understand it's not something you do over a few months and then that's it, I'm at my goal weight, I'm done. I can go back to normal, as what people would call it, because most people think normal is just going through the day, eating what you want, training maybe when you feel like it or when you have time. That's not normal. That's what most people do, but that's because they haven't gone on a fitness or a lifestyle change journey, okay? So the normal is actually having a plan that's going to help you, have results long term, okay? So most people, when they get to their goal, the best thing to do, and a lot of you would have heard about this topic before, about reverse dieting. You can't just go from being in a deficit and then going, fuck it, I'm going to eat whatever, okay? It's not how it works. You need to have an exit plan. You need to slowly build your calories up, okay? Speaking from someone as well that has done, I've competed before as well, and, the aftermath, the off season is the hardest part because you need to ensure that you're not putting on too much where you kind of blow out. And we do a strategy where we will increase calories every week, just bit by bit, very slow, so that your body will be able to get used to that. If you go from eating, let's say, 1,600 calories and then, I'm just going to go back to not eating whatever. Some days you're eating 2,000, some days you're eating 3,000, some days you're eating 1,200 and it's all over the shop. Your body is not going to be able to cope and it's just going to pack that weight back on. So I think the biggest thing is having a plan. People need to understand when they sign up with a coach or with it's not something you do for 6 weeks. If you think that, well, you're already not in the right mindset, because if it was, feasible to just do something for 6 weeks and then that's it, you've got it for life, everyone would do it, but it's not. It's something that you need to work at consistently. At the start, obviously, it's the hardest part because you're trying to get to that goal. You may be in a deficit, you're feeling it's all a bit too much, but trust me, once you get to that goal and you work with your coach or your trainer to maintain that and, gradually turn it into, okay, this is my lifestyle and this is what I'm going to do, my non-negotiables. That's when you will see the lifelong results. And when I talk about non-negotiables, Purvi's it for me. No matter what is happening in my life, no matter where I am, I will make sure that I train. That's a number one non-negotiable. Training is not something, even when I'm stressed or busy, time has to be made for training. Meal prep, I will meal prep every weekend. That is a non-negotiable, okay? Even if I have things on, okay? Say I had normally I do my meal prep on Sunday, But realistically, we may have things on Sunday. So that's when I say, okay, maybe I need to Friday night, Saturday, pick another day to meal prep. It's achievable. You just need to make sure that you have those non-negotiables in place. And it might be as simple as, even reaching out to a meal prep company. I know a lot of my clients do it. For me, me and my husband, our chicken and meat we actually get from Food for Fitness, which they pretty much send it to you. It's already cooked, and all you have to do is pretty much pack it into containers. It's super easy, and that saved a lot of time, especially because our lives, have become busy and, with work and training, this, that, social. So that's really helped. And if it has to take for you to do that, it's worth it. Even some of my clients, there's different food companies now, so many that you can choose from, and I find that it's just that convenient side of things. So I don't want to make this video too long, but pretty much I just want to really preach what I'm about. It's not sign up to a program and in 6 weeks you're going to lose 10, 15 kilos. It's not about that. My goal with my movement and with my programs is to make sure that people achieve results that are going to be lifelong, not a temporary fix, and to change their mindset. Okay, I know people that work 15, 16-hour days, people that have kids, and they still manage to have a healthy lifestyle, and they are healthier than those ones that work 6-hour days, work 3 times a week, have no kids. So there's no excuse. Okay, you are the excuse because you determine what you do in your day. You determine what is a priority. You determine your non-negotiables. So that is what my message is, and I hope that this has helped you in some way to realize, what? If I want to do this, I need to make sure that I make it a priority and that I look at the long-term effects of this. It's going to make me healthier for the future, better for my kids if you have kids, and just better overall. You don't have to train to be a bodybuilder, but, doing it for yourself to feel good. You have one life, you have one body. It really would upset me if I had looked back and thought, I never achieved my goals. So if you do need help with this, please reach out. Please contact me if you want more information on what I can do to help you. And I really hope this video was helpful, guys. Have a great day.